Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Friday. It is the 28th day of October 2022. Happy Friday. I hope this Friday finds you healthy and safe, and that the same can be said for your family, that they're healthy and safe, and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field and the first responders who every day are trying to save lives. Blessings also upon those that pick up garbage for us to keep streets and sidewalks and highways and parks clean. Blessings also upon those that make deliveries of food and water and mail for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women that are out here trying to help deliver, rescue, and recover the teenagers and children that are victims of child molestation and pedophilia in all 50 states and in all the counties of all 50 states of the United States, as well as those that are victims of prostitution, child pornography, human trafficking, and sex slavery. And double curses on the perpetrators. Those who are the profiteers. Those who are the perverts that create the market that drives this disgusting industry. Finally, blessings upon the homeless. Nearly 600,000 men, women, and especially children living on the streets of the United States of America today, and millions around the world in similar or worse conditions, and blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. There's a scheduled basketball game tonight. The New York Knicks will be playing the Milwaukee Bucks today. This is the first real test. Well, not true. Memphis was a test. So this is the second real test for the New York Knicks. I had said in the beginning of the season that in the first 10 games for the Knicks, if they can come out of this 10-game stretch 5-5, they'd be doing very well. I thought 4-6 would be the low end, and of course anything better than 5-5 would be tremendous. But at this point, we're trying to stick with the 5-5 if we could get there. So right now the Knicks are 3-1, which means in the next 6 games to be 5-5, they need to go 2-4. Okay, in the next 6 games. So that starts tonight against Milwaukee. Now, the Knicks have had some success. They've also been blown out at times by Milwaukee, but they've also had some success against Milwaukee. The key thing for me today is Giannis Antetokounmpo, obviously, because Giannis Antetokounmpo is averaging 36 points, 13 boards. He's shooting almost 70% from the field and 40% from three. The Milwaukee Bucks are number 1 in the East right now. They're playing the best defense of the East. They only give up 97 points a game. Okay, they're not offensively explosive. They have right now. They're missing tonight. They won't have Chris Middleton. They won't have Pat Connaughton. They won't have Joe Ingles. Okay, so they were missing all of those players, especially Middleton. He's the Robin to Giannis's Batman. Him and Jrue Holiday. So. They're not the explosive offensive team. Of course, everything revolves around Giannis. He'll bring the ball up. He'll set up the offense. He'll be aggressive. All of that. Okay. Now, a lot of people, when you think of the NBA, you think of one-on-one, man-to-man defense. And pretty much that's a lot what it is. But really, it's a combination of what we used to call, what Jim Boeheim ran. I don't know if he's still running it, and what Lou Carnesecca used to run in St. John's, the matchup zone. That's really what it is. It's more like a matchup zone where players switch. Yes, they're man-to-man, but they're switching a lot. And what you want defensively is 5 guys that are able to switch and not leave any weaknesses. That's what you like ultimately. Any team would like that. Now, for the Knicks, we basically have 3.5, right? So you can switch RJ, you can switch Mitch, you can switch Julius. Brunson gives a lot of effort, and he's smaller. Fournier gives a lot of effort, and he's just foot slow. Okay, period. End of story. So here, against the Bucks, you do not want, you could say, if it was just straight man-to-man, you could say, okay, I'm going to put Mitch Robb on Julius, on Giannis, because that's going to length against length. Mitch Robb is agile enough to stay with Giannis. But that would tend to create a foul problem for Mitch Rob, because Giannis is very good at getting to the line. Now, he doesn't shoot well. He shoots 62% from the foul strike, okay? And that's actually probably an improvement. But he's not a great foul shooter, but he would still foul out guys like Mitch. He does that. So what you want to do is you want to gang guard him. Not only like a zone, but you want to have a wall. And Tom Thibodeau's schemes are good at this. He can create a wall so that you can force Giannis into either giving up the rock or taking a jumper, especially a jumper at the three-point line. Even though he's shooting 40% from three, a guy like this, you got to pick your poison. He's either going to get to the rim or he's going to shoot from the outside, and you're better off trying to make him beat you from the outside. So I expect the Knicks to create walls so that he cannot have lanes to get to the hole and have therefore either give the ball up or shoot jumpers. That would be great. And if he hit the jumper, he hitting the jumper. It's just what it is. Now, at the same time, you have to, this general manager obviously is smart. They surrounded Giannis with shooters. So you got around him, well, Middleton's a shooter, but he's not here today. But you're going to have Drew Holiday who can shoot the rock, Grayson Allen who can shoot the rock, Brook Lopez who can shoot the rock. You're going to probably have, they've been starting Javon Carter, who's not a great shooter, but he's a high level defender. They've been starting him. I think Javon Carter's out of West Virginia, if I'm not mistaken. It's the same guy. Yeah, it's that Bob Huggins, Deuce McBride, defensive demon type dude. That's Javon Carter. And so they're very good defensively, which means for the Knicks, they must move the basketball. It must move. That's the only, now, as great as our guy Brunson has been, and he's been great, he will run into a brick wall trying to play against Drew Holiday the way he played against Dennis Smith Jr., or the way he went at other point guards that has tried to guard him. Drew Holiday is an all NBA level defender. Okay? He's big, he's strong, he can shoot the ball, he's high IQ, he's smart. You're not going to beat him. He's not going to beat Drew Holiday like that. Okay? So the ball must move. Now, the good thing is that Jalen Brunson is smart enough, high IQ enough, brilliant enough in his mind to understand what I just said. See, he's not no dummy. He's not going to let his emotions take over. His pride not going to take over his game. He's going to play the game to win. And that means the ball must move. He's going to have to move the basketball. He's going to have to hit open shots. People must move without the basketball against Milwaukee. You have to move without the ball, Julius Randle. And I think that Brunson will facilitate that. That's why we have him. That's why he's that general on the floor. It would be nice. It would be real nice if the Knicks are dropping their J's tonight. If they could rain some threes, that would put pressure on Milwaukee. That's very good. But we just have to keep moving that basketball, and the Knicks have to play tight defense. Now, along with the guys I just named, they got another guy. His name is Jordan Nwora from Louisville. He can shoot the rock too. And he can get hot. He can't do much else. He's not he's almost like their version of Fournier. He's not a great defender. He's not going to beat you off the dribble. He's high IQ and he can shoot the rock. Okay. He's another guy. So they got Giannis, and Giannis plays that role in some cases where he can get into the paint and spray it. And that's why you got an Nwora, a Grayson Allen, a Drew Holiday, a Brook Lopez. They can hit the three. And of course, coming off the bench, you got a Bobby Portis, you got a Wesley Matthews who could also drop threes on you. So that's how they set it up. That's what they're supposed to do with a guy like Giannis. This is not going to be easy. Now, Mitchell Robinson is going to be extremely important because, as I mentioned before, we don't want him necessarily to be head up on Giannis all the time, but his help defense is going to be needed today. He's going to get into the lane sometimes. You're not going to completely stop him from getting into the lane. See, a guy like Giannis Antetokounmpo, he's a true superstar. They're going to get their points. He's going to get his 30-something, but you got to make it hard for him. He's going to get into the lane, but you got to hope he misses chippies because he does do that sometimes. Mitch Rob's help is going to be important. Rotations on the Knicks, Julius Randle, is going to be very important. He must rotate. He must rotate quickly, especially when Giannis gets into the lane. Mitch Rob comes over to help. You got to get somebody, all of them got to rotate, not just Julius, but everybody got to rotate today. And then, of course, what we want to do with a team like Milwaukee, if we can, we want to run. We want to run. That gives us a chance because that will wear them out a little bit. It will cause them to focus on defense a little bit more. Maybe Giannis has to work harder. That's what you want to make him do, work harder. And, we can get some easy buckets. So now, in this case, Tom's going to come out with the same starting five. But I'm expecting Cam to play a huge role today because of his length on the defensive side of the basketball. They're going to need that. They're going to need his length on the defensive side of the ball. And his agility, his ability to stay with a Grayson Allen, to stay with an Iwara, to stay with Drew Holiday if he needs to stay with even a Brook Lopez. Cam could guard all of those guys. Okay. We're going to need that. We're going to need RJ to be on his game, of course, defensively. Some of y'all have been overly critical of him defensively. I mean, overly. I watched the games. He ain't as bad as some of y'all are tripping about. I don't understand. Some of y'all just need something to nitpick about. Whatever. Okay. He need to work on this. He need to work on that. So why don't y'all just go coach? Shoot. Anyway, RJ just needs to be RJ today. He needs to be bully balling. He needs to be slashing. He needs to be hitting his foul shots. And it'd be nice if he took off them Ray Charles glasses tonight and start dropping some threes. That would be great. Okay, so it's going to be a tough game. It's not going to be easy, but this is why I like the Knicks to win. Number one, Tom Thibodeau is going to have them again prepared. They're going to come prepared. They're going to know the plays Milwaukee's going to run. Milwaukee's not going to be able to run repeated plays against the Knicks and be successful today because they're going to be on their game. They're going to respect the Bucks, which is also good for the Knicks. They're going to they're going to respect them and respect their opponent and be prepared to play hard against them. That's number one. Number two, I feel like even though you can't discount the fact that Milwaukee's a championship team. They don't want a chip already. Giannis Antetokounmpo, 2-time MVP. 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. You got Drew Holiday, All-NBA defense, All-Star. These guys are tough, but I feel like the depth of the Knicks could match up with them. They do not have Mobb Deep. Not right now. See, because of the injuries to Joe Ingles, because of the injuries to Pat Connaughton, who is a really valuable rotation piece for them, because of the injury, obviously, to Chris Middleton, they do not have the depth that New York has. They just don't. So if the starting unit can hold its own with Giannis and them, I feel like this is an opportunity for Obi, for IQ, for Cam, for the whole Mobb Deep crew to do what they do and win us this basketball game. This is where I feel the Knicks could beat them tonight. I'm not saying they're going to stomp on them. Obviously, this is a championship team. They 3-0. But I feel like the Knicks have a good chance because of Mobb Deep. If Obi comes off the play, which I know he will, Cam gonna come to play, which I know he will. If IQ can play both sides of the basketball, keep his head up, which I'm sure he's going to. It would be really nice though if that jumper was dropping today. It'd be really nice. So you got that. So with that in mind, the Knicks bench and this is a situation where I feel like the Knicks bench is why I keep saying it's top five in the NBA. And this is going to win them a lot of games because the starting unit is better than last year's starting unit with Brunson. So all they got to do really is fight to a draw with Giannis and them. Then Obi, D Rose, Emmanuel Quickly, Cam Reddish. Then these cats could come off the bench and do work. Okay. Because they're way better than the Milwaukee bench right now. Way better. And so that's the difference in my opinion. It could be a game where in the fourth quarter, this is where Tom Thibodeau is going to be tested. Who is he going to play in the fourth? He's just going to mass substitute the starters back in. If Mobb Deep is rolling, or we're going to do Obi in the fourth quarter with Cam. See, we got to see what happens. But that's what we're going to find out tonight. I'm not going to be watching the game live. I am definitely going to be seeing it on replay tomorrow night. And then, probably watch it a couple of times just to make, review it and make sure we catch all the points. And then, of course, Sunday, we're going to do a podcast. We're going to go live stream on Sunday, review these things and prepare. Sunday night is a Cleveland game. That's another thing. We're gonna take this one game at a time. Okay, one game at a time. And let me just put it out there now. I'm expecting the Knicks to go at least 2-4 on this next 6 games. If they could go 3-3, then we end up the first 10 games 6-4. You can't complain about that. But tonight is the start of it. Tonight is Bucks. Let's get ready. Okay. Please enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your Friday. Be safe out there, you and your family. Enjoy yourselves. Those of you keeping Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. We'll talk to you all later. Shalom.